interesting one for you after a question we got this week, which took me back to a client a few years ago. Extremely busy, travelling between London, balancing business, career, family, everything like that. Struggling to get an hour and a half to get to the gym, and then thinking that there's no point, short workouts don't work. So what we devised was a plan which we call micro workouts. They're all approximately 20 minutes we looked at. And this plan was something that was 6 days a week, but 20 minutes. Because what we figured out was this gentleman could get a 20-minute workout in, get showered, and get on a conference call, get to a meeting, get on the train to London, and it worked. But what we couldn't find was an hour to get these sessions in. So what we looked at was, instead of training for like 3 sessions of an hour a week, we split these sessions down into what we call micro sessions. And how we structured it was, we looked at 2 main exercises per day on the lifting days, resistance days, and we added in 1 to 2 energy sessions in that 6-session block per week. So on the lifting days, what we looked at was, after a 5-minute warm-up, which was either rowing, air bike, we looked at one big exercise, a multi-joint compound lift, like a squat, like a deadlift, an RDL, trap bar deadlift, dips, pull-ups, things like that, overhead pressing, rowing. And then we'd add in a single joint accessory or isolation exercise, depending on how you think of it. So what happened is, for example, on a Monday, it might be 5 sets of a back squat, working up, but even in the last set, we always left reps in the tank, because the idea, because we were training 6 days, we weren't trying to go to failure on anything. It was always making sure there were reps left in the tank on every exercise. So we'd work up to, say, 5 sets, squats, reasonable weight, quite intense, but like I said, not failure by any stretch. And then we'd add in an accessory exercise. So if we'd done a lower body compound, we'd add in an upper body accessory lift or isolation lift, depending on how you want to call it. So depending on the needs of the client, it could be something like a rear delt fly, it could be a barbell curl, it could be some form of a push down, it could be a lateral raise, something like that. Okay, so on day 1, we might have a lower body compound, upper body accessory. Day 2, we'd have an upper body compound lift. So it might be, for example, dips, pull-ups, chins, pretty heavy barbell row, a heavy press, a heavy overweight press. And then we'll throw in a lower body accessory or isolation lift. So something like hamstring curl, sit calf raise. It might be some adductor work, some abductor work, some direct glute work, for example. So that would be day 2. And then day 3, we'd throw in what we call an energy session, which again would be 20 minutes. And depending where this gentleman were and what he got access to, I'd give him options. So I'd say things like the assault air bike, a ski erg, a rower. And some days I would say this will be in an interval format. So 40 seconds on, 20 off, 20 seconds on, 10 off. And on some days, depending what I've got access to, it might even be some steady state, but just ramping that intensity up a little bit, so you're pretty much getting breathless. It's not just a steady stroll. All right, it's 20 minutes, fairly intense, at a steady-ish pace, okay? And then we go back in the day after to a lower body compound, upper body accessory. Day 5, upper body compound, lower body accessory. And then on day 6, another energy session. But on this one, we do something like some modified strongman training. So sled push, sled pull, some farmers carries, some loaded carries, overhead carries, things like that. A 20-minute circuit style. So heart rate high, working full body. And there's a massive carryover. I've always been a fan of strongman style training. So what we found was, this meant workouts were getting done. We weren't missing sessions, because it was literally, can you do 20 minutes? Yes or no? Yes, you can. Okay. He didn't want to get up at 4 or 5 a.m, but he still wanted to get a workout in. So this week he'll get up at 6:30, nip to the gym, which wasn't far, 20-minute session, shower, work conference call on the train. It worked. These sessions got done. Because if you think about it, you don't always save up brushing your teeth. You'll brush your teeth every day. You don't think, oh, well, I'll just save it up and do a 25-minute brush at the end of the week. So little and often and consistency, we know when it comes to fat loss, when it comes to getting stronger, does work. Okay? So if you're the sort of person who thinks, oh, I've got to go to the gym for an hour and a half, smash myself, that leads to anxiety and time constraints, which means you're not getting your sessions in. These micro sessions, 20 minutes, high frequency, like I said, leaving reps in the tank, so we're not going to failure on deadlifts, squats or anything like that. We're always leaving some spare reps, but we're still getting that volume in over the week with shorter sessions. So if you are struggling to get work in at the gym, in a hotel room, because some of those energy sessions, you can do them in HIIT style in a hotel room if you're away traveling, okay? So don't think because you can't get to the gym every session, you can't do the work. Modify it where you can, and these things do work. So I hope that helps. 6 sessions a week, 20 minutes approximately. Some might be slightly under for the energy sessions. Some of the weight sessions will sometimes creeping towards 23 to 25 minutes all in. But structured right, these do work. Hope that helps.